God, and I am a messenger of truth. And the message is simple. It's love.
So nothing against Harry, the soul coach here, who has done many videos about Q. I don't know about Q because I didn't follow it, as I've said this millions of times. However, everybody, like, he's in this clip saying, I guess Donald Trump posted something about Tom Hanks shouldn't be receiving some award at West Point, and he's glad that they canceled the show. And so he's saying that, Harry the soul coach here is saying that we need to use common sense here. Would Donald Trump be saying this if Tom Hanks had done something wrong, if Tom Hanks had been Gitmo'd? And this whole Gitmo thing has been annoying to me for a long time. I don't know if Gitmo was mentioned in Q because I didn't follow it. But, you know, this idea, no, they were Gitmo'd in 2017, they, you know, meaning they were. So, and so then he goes on to say, basically in this clip, he's saying that, that children of God will only receive, words of love. That's not true. That's not true. Meaning that if somebody is speaking, because this clip goes on to show how, remember the movie The Green Mile, the black man in it, basically the star of it, I forget his name. He was giving a speech at some Academy Awards show, and he was saying all these loving things about Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's what Hollywood does. Hollywood is an example, displayed example of phony love. This is why I say people need to you need to get back down to very basics. Like, what is love? If you want to look at it from the eyes of God, what is love? Love is truth. It's true. I've said this a million times. Love is truth. And sometimes truths are hard. It's not this, oh, beautiful, everything's wonderful and it's all happy and unicorns. That's Burning Man. It is. It's all this, oh, I've raised in consciousness, I've raised in dimension, I've raised in vibration. I'm now one with the universe and the planets, and my chakras are all aligned. That is Burning Man. That is where all of that comes from. But if you're interested in Jesus, and you don't have to be, of course, it's a free country, sort of. But if you're interested in what God thinks, and that's what I'm interested in, the biblical God, then love is about truth. Now, and yet this world has told everyone, no, you must never say anything negative. Again, that's Burning Man stuff. I'm not trying to sound like, I hate doing videos like this. I hate doing them. Because it looks like, oh, you're just being negative. No, but the truth, Jesus told you who was running this world. So this idea that the devil, Jesus said there is no truth in the wicked one. The wicked one can absolutely display a false love to anybody or anything. Look at Burning Man. That's what they do. They love each other. They all love you. Oh, we all come together. We all connect. We all raise in dimension and vibration together. It's a different connection. It's a different world. You have to experience it and the energy of it. Yeah, that's all love. That's all they talk about is love. That's all the hippie generation talked about too, was, oh, we're all about flowery love. And it was all bullshit. This is what my point is. There's a real love. And my opinion is that because I follow Jesus, is the real love is very different than the love that this world shows everyone. But everyone in this world will follow that stuff. Oh, yes, of course, that's what I want to do. I want to follow the fake, phony love. So I'm not trying to go after Harry the Soul Coach, because I know everybody just loves Harry the Soul Coach. But, yeah, he's wrong. But he's said this about. I mean, I don't think it's everybody that Obama gave a medal to, which Tom Hanks was one of those people. Harry, the soul coach, has acted like, yeah, they're good people. That's basically what he says. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't look at really anybody. There's very few out of Hollywood. I don't want to say nobody, but there's very few. Like, you could probably count them, on your 10 fingers, that are out of Hollywood, that first of all would know anything about what biblical love is, nor would they would I put them in the category of good people. They serve the propaganda of this world. They serve the wicked one. I mean, didn't it come out that Beyonce, she took like $1 million so that to get up there for Kamala and say those few words she did? Yeah, they pay these people. Okay, it's all about this. Of course, that's what this world is about. But the other thing it's about is pushing this false love narrative. It drives me crazy. It does. It gets on my nerves. It doesn't drive me crazy. It gets on my nerves. Because it's everywhere. And if you want to see where it is the most, just look up any clips on YouTube or social media of Burning Man every year. And that's what it is. We're all about love and inclusiveness and belonging and accepting. And it's like, no, you're just about, you're just the modern day form of the Greek gods and that whole, orgy fest. That's the modern day version of all that mess. I've mentioned before, I see those the Greek gods as they were really at one time back in that day, the Greek Empire, that they were the fallen ones. Yeah, that God casted out of heaven. And they go on to do great signs and wonders, yes. And so they become worshipped. And they did, and back in those days, and then the Roman Empire took it on too. This is how everybody ended up following paganism, really, because each culture carried over those gods, because again, they must have provided something, or else each society wouldn't have kept keeping them. When the Roman Empire took on their gods, they changed some of their names. It's the same thing with the Vatican. The Vatican decided, well, we can't get many of the West some in the West to give up their pagan, their pagan gods. So we're just going to put saints' names to them. That's what they did. Okay, so none of that is truthful. You can make excuses about, well, they're just doing their best. Okay. But then you have to look at the deeds. And if the deeds are always really going against what the Word of God is, and it's this, and the example of God is we're going to take pagan gods and tell Christians it's okay to light candles to these pagan gods as long as you call them saints, then that's not, first of all, that's not a good thing. It's not truthful. And it's deceptive. So that's not an example of love. That's an example of the same thing that's carried on over and over again into each society all the way up to today. And the biggest place you see it on display is Burning Man. I mean, you see it on display everywhere. It's all over our government in many ways. It's that left lunatic, which we love everybody. And I've said one of the biggest things I can't stand about the left lunatics is their phony empathy. They rile people up into phony empathy and phony love. And it's like, it's not legit. So people need to rethink, because if everybody thinks, no, the truly godly people are the people that only ever speak loving words about others and never say the truth, that's not love to God. I hope that makes sense.